hello. Just coming on now, coming through Zoom. Come on and say hello if you are on, or if you're catching the replay, just say hi. Just going to check I am live in the group, which I am, and I can see a couple of you on, so just say hi in the comments. I can't even comment on my own thing. Oh, I can see Joe, Joyce, and Karen are on. Well, it's telling me you're on anyway. Can you hear me okay? And can you see me okay? Hi, Karen. All right, so I had a little practice earlier on to see if I could do this, because I'm coming in on Zoom as well as live into Facebook. So it's a little bit of a learning curve, because Facebook have changed everything, and so it's a little bit challenging to get on here and do this. So I am just going to set myself up. Now, I did forget to mention you need a pencil. So if you are painting along, just grab a pencil while I'm getting sorted. Excellent. Oh, so good. All right, I'm just going to press record if I can remember what I'm doing. Oh dear. Find it first, record. So I'm recording this. So it's getting recorded straight to my computer, because Facebook have changed the rules and don't allow us to keep the videos in here for longer than 30 days. They get deleted after that. So if I record it, and that's why I'm doing it through Zoom. So if I record it, then I've got it, and I can put it in to the group as a replay for a little bit, as well as I'm going to be restarting my membership, and any free lives that I do in this group will be moved over to there as bonuses, so you'll get extras as well. But I'll talk more about the membership a little bit later on. So has everybody got everything they need? You've got all your paint colours. Let me know if you are painting along, or if you are just watching today, because I know some of you like to just watch, so that's fine. And are you all good with colours? And did you manage to find a square canvas? If you are going on something rectangle, let me know, because I'll just tell you how to adjust it as we go. So let me know that in the comments as well. So I can only see comments on my phone. So I've got my phone sitting near me. I've got 3 screens happening. So hopefully it all works out. So I'm going to share my screen, so you'll get to see me and the painting as well. That's pretty cool. So I'll just rearrange things for you. Just got to remember how to find all the buttons. All right, so I'm about to share the painting. So please let me know in the comments if you can see both. Just going to make it bigger for you to see. And if it is clear, so if the painting is clear and you can see that. Okay, hi Mum, hi Joyce, and Joe's on a rectangle, no worries. All right, so just let me know if you can see that fine. There is a little bit of a delay from what I'm saying to how it's coming to you, but that's it. And then during the painting, if I am going a little bit fast and you need me to slow down, just let me know. I am quite fast. All right. Excellent. All right, so this is a beautiful, colourful painting that we are drawing and as you saw, there is no tracer. So you are doing a little bit of drawing today, but that's okay because then everyone's will turn out different. And as Jo said, she's on rectangle. I think, Margaret, you were doing it on rectangle as well. Thank you, Karen. See both of me, good. It's a little bit daunting having my picture up there too. I better not pull faces or do anything while I'm painting because you'll see me for once. And if you were on my little practice live this morning, we just had chickens hatch. I've got a incubator next to me. We've had 8 chickens hatch and they were making so much noise. Anyway, Mark has changed them, taken them out. So hopefully none hatch while I'm doing this. All right, I'm just going to pop that over there. I can see it. All right, so we have a blank canvas. I'll just move it down a little bit so that you can see the top of it. Hopefully you can see what I'm drawing. So when you are doing your sketch, so when you're doing your sketch first, we're going to do an outline of the mountains and the desert sands. So if you are on rectangle, it'll be virtually the same spot starting. You're just going to bring it in a little bit. All right, so you probably don't want to do them quite as big. So I'm going to start with the mountains on the side here. So make sure you leave enough space at the top for your skies. So I think with the rectangle one, you've got the same length. If you're doing a 12 by 16, you'll just cut it off a little bit off the side there. Right, so we're going to just do a mountain. It's not really a mountain. So just come down a little bit and add in another wavy one. And then I'm just going to add in the line here, the next line, because that will lead us up to the line up there. Right, and like I said, it doesn't matter if yours is different to mine. And so if you're doing that rectangle, you'll just come up a little bit more. So we're going to leave, we've got a couple of, comes in like a V. All right, so then we've got another little layer there and another one. And you can either do it pointy or rounded, however you feel like. Then just so we know where the next layer goes here, I'm just going to do the front ones first. So we want the front, another one coming at the back, at the front, but behind that one. It's got another smaller one in here. And then just under this one, just going to come down into the middle here. And another one over there. So like I said, it doesn't matter if yours is different to mine because it'll look fine once it's finished. Just want those layers in there for the colour. All right, so we're going to start with the finished drawing. Just let me know if you're all finished drawing, those that are painting along. It's very hot today. In my room, I've had the air conditioner on all morning and it's still hot in here. Now I am going to have to turn this a little bit on the side, so I'll just turn it a little bit on the side there. Got a pesky fly in here. Right. All right, so colours you should have, and some of you may be doing different colours anyway. Oh, I've got orange. You can make orange if you haven't got orange. So we're going to need the Phthalo Blue, which is going to be along the top, and we're going to use that to make our green of the cactus later as well. Turquoise, some white, dark red, orange, yellow, and magenta. And if you want a little bit of purple, or you can make purple if you haven't got purple. I like to make it easy for everybody, so I'll just put purple on there. All right, so big brush first, and we're just going to start at the top with some Phthalo Blue, so loading up your brush. Now, as per usual, for those that have painted with me before, if you want to do your borders the same as what's going on in your painting, you'll bring the colour around to the edges. If not, I just do a black border at the end, finish off. All right, so really, now with Phthalo Blue, for some reason, it shows up the brush strokes a lot. So you really got to press in and push it into your canvas and then smooth it across so you don't get the streaky brush strokes. We're just going to come a little bit down and then not actually rinsing the brush because I want a little bit of the blue still in my brush. Grab the turquoise. And I'm not going right up close to start with. I'm just going to get some turquoise on my canvas. Going back and forth. So still you can see a little bit of that blue coming through. Now, you will need to be a little bit careful down near mountains. So if you want to try and keep the brush stroke similar direction, so just carefully go around your mountain outline best you can. Move that across. Then we're just going to grab that Phthalo Blue should be wet still. We're going to come back up to that and blend some more turquoise across. And bring a little bit, not too much, up into the sky. The top, and bring a little bit down in to get some streaks. I didn't put very much on my brush at all. I'm just grabbing a tiny, tiny little bit so I can bring some of that nice blue, streak it down into the sky, wipe some of that off, and grab a touch of white as well. So just going to streak a little bit of the white through the top. So that creates some nice little streaks there, and you can do some into the turquoise. I'm not pressing very hard at all, and I've hardly got any on my brush. If you do get a little bit heavy-handed, can come back over it. We just want to see a couple of little streaks through the sky. And if you want, you can do a little bit lighter down the bottom here, although it's starting to dry already because I've got fan on. Now, if you are painting on, I think, Margaret, are you doing on a canvas or are you doing it onto paper? I think you're doing it into your art journal. Now I've gone too heavy-handed with the white. They can come back over and just. I'm going to stop there because liking it. All right, so rinsing out your brush. We're just going to do one layer of the background first, of the top part, and then we'll come back in to add the shading. And I should have some. Okay, so with your yellow, and just be careful if your sky is a little bit wet still, just come in. I'm going to do one layer of yellow, come back later and just another one to add in some depth colours in there. Then rinsing your brush again, and we're going to come in and do the same with red. So with the mountains here now, I'm not sure those on a rectangle will get the same effect. We will be coming, this bit's purple after we've done the red, and we're going to come in a bit there and bring some purple across a little bit. So just go in with your red first and just do a layer. So Margaret, you just may need to add a little bit of extra water to make it a bit smoother on the paper. That will probably dry pretty quick too. So just when you're doing the strokes, try and get them with the contour of your heels. So when I come here, there's nothing to finish it off, but we're going to blend either side. So still do your red. See what I mean in a minute when I add the magenta. So red is also another one that shows up the brush strokes. There's two coats. So don't worry too much if you're seeing the brush strokes. Try and smooth it out the best you can. Now I'm not actually going to rinse my brush off. I'm just going to pick up some magenta because we want, doesn't matter if it's got a little bit of red in, and leave a little gap there. We're going to bring some of the purple up there in a moment. And the magenta is going to go into that red. Now remember, with my paintings, it's trust the process, so it's going to look a bit weird at the moment because we're just doing plain colour, but we'll add all the shading in later. You're just catching up. I have to stick my hair up, sorry. It's annoying. I've got a fan right behind me and it's blowing and it's blowing my neck. Too long. Anyway. All right. So rinsing your brush again, we're going to add a little bit of purple in. And just drying the brush off. Again, don't worry too much if it picks up a little bit of the red. It's going to another layer over the top after. And then just on top of this little round hill here, I'm just going to put purple. Which is going to cause, it's going to create a little shadow under there. And we're just doing a little bit along the top here. And then rinsing the brush again and coming in with some more magenta. So try and get those contour lines and then go over that purple. So we're then going, just don't need to rinse your brush, just pat it off on your paper towel. And we're coming in with some orange. So it doesn't matter if it gets some of that magenta through because we will be adding that through later on anyway. This front bit is quite a lot of orange, so but when it's finished it doesn't really look that way because we'll add extra layers in there, extra color. Now we actually want this to dry quicker, so we're going to do a blending part while this is wet. So I'm just going to pick up a bit of magenta and do some of that on teal. A little bit of the orange and magenta, and we're just going to come through one over here. Got a little bit of yellow. We just want streaks of colour coming through the orange. If it has dried a little bit, just add a little bit more orange and then pick your colour ups to blend. Purple. But rinse your brush after you've picked up that purple. And then we're going to make the front look a bit lighter than that's gone quite dark there. So I'm just going to add a little bit more yellow. So pick up a bit of white, bring through, so that'll change it again. It's got a bit of yellow, a bit of the white, straight through. Don't over blend, you don't want it to blend in, you want those nice streaky lines through the background. And then with this front one, I'm just going to add another line of magenta. Add a little bit more yellow and do the same thing. Don't worry if you've got still some magenta on paintbrush. Remember, this is going to be covered with, some of it will be covered with cactuses as well. So hopefully that will have some time to dry. Now we've got the orange and magenta on our brush here, but our yellow up at the top will be probably quite dry now. So I'm going to start on this side. Just going to go back over that. I'm going to wash my brush now. So we want this dark side here to stay quite yellow. We can add a little bit of white to lighten that up. It's probably too much. Wet that again. And I'm just picking up a little touch of magenta while that's wet. Right, how are we all going? Are you keeping up? Going too fast? little bit delayed, so. Yeah, awesome, Joe, thank you. All right, so we're going to go back over red. This time, I'm going to add in a little bit of black too. So if you've got some black there, grab some of that. Won't need very much. Actually, no, we might do the first because we white into that. So we're just going to do another coat on the purple. Pick up a little bit of white. Just go along. So you got the lighter up the top and darker down the bottom there. So it's like gives it like a bit of a reflection. Depth. And then with the red, I'm just going to add another layer to darken that up. And just to give it some more contour in it, just get a little tiny bit of black. You don't need much at all on your brush. And we're just going to do some lines. You can load up with red again if you want. It's better to have not much on there. Just create some shadow. And when that's dry, let's get fly. Get up. Sorry, got it. Got him. Oh, there's another one. Got a mate. All right, so we're going to do the same on the other side. So if you've got black on your brush, just wipe that off. Just have the right one. I don't want too much black. Do some. It's interesting, the colours that are coming up actually aren't true to what my colours are. So actually on Facebook it looks better on my little screen than on my big screen. Putting a little bit of shadow down the bottom. Add in some white later. Right, so rinsing out your brush really well. Now, if you need to change your water after this, do so. Just because you've had that black, it's probably quite mucky now. I've brought in 2 cups because I knew I knew that would happen. And we're just going to do another coat on our magenta. Mine's gone a bit dried out. Coat just to brighten that magenta up. And I'm just going to add a touch of white through there as well. So just lightening up, make it a pinky. And then same on the other side here. Probably really haven't got the reflections in the right spot, but it just really is in this colour. Just want to create all those nice contours. If you want to add a little bit more purple back in, you can. Blend that in through there. Purple down the bottom. That's a lot. Right, well, hopefully your orange is drying off. So we're just going to rinse out that big brush because we don't need that now, but we are going to add a little bit of reflection, or we add do some circle work for the moon. So we will be up to this part next. So we're going to add a little bit of turquoise and the blue. We'll come back to our cloud once that has dried, but we'll just add that in now. So this makes some lighter blue, that phthalo blue, a bit of white. And I'm just using a little flat brush. If you've got, oh, stuck it end in something. And then we're just going to flatten out and draw the circle as best we can. Doesn't matter if it's not quite, if it's a little bit like so dry brushed, a bit hazy on the edge. That will add to the effect. And then I'm just picking up, without rinsing my brush, some turquoise. I will allow that to dry and then come in with white. I'm hoping all your bottom is dry. If it's not quite dry, mine's dried really quick. Just, I'll give you a couple of minutes, just go over it with a hairdryer if you've got one handy. If not, it should be okay. Now, I'm just going to add a little bit of extra paint because mine is drying out really quickly. Now we are going to do the cactuses freehand. So I'm just going to use my bigger pointy brush first, and we're going to make up a nice green. So with phthalo blue and the yellow, just going to mix them. I'm not going to over mix it because I want some of that blue and the yellow streaks as well. So you'll see what I mean once I do this. And just rinse off your brush again after you've mixed and dry off, because otherwise your brush has got too much paint on it. All right, so our first one is quite high. So it's going to come up quite a way on this side. Just going to do an outline first. And then colour that in as best you can. And don't worry too much if you get like streaks of the blue through, bits of the yellow. We will come back over and add some more depth, but just to get, we want that nice dark green first. And we've got one out the side. So mine actually looks quite dark there. It looks nearly black, but it is bluey green. And then we've got one. Remember, cactuses are all different shapes and sizes, so however this turns out, it's all good. So if you've got a nice solid colour there, just rinse your brush off and grab some yellow. So I've only loaded my brush with yellow, and while this is still wet, I'm just going to do some stripes down there. You want to just leave some of the dark in between. Just pull your brush through that wet paint. So grab a little bit of the blue, put some streaks of blue. It's not overly showing up, I don't think, on the Facebook one very clear, sorry. You know, if you want. Do a couple of other highlights when it's dried. Then we're going to do this. We're going to do two cactus over this side. I'm going to change to my little brush though, I think, because one might be too big for our other little cactuses. I'm going to do two over this side. Again, using that green that we've mixed. One further at the back. Draw your outline. Again, come in with some yellow. Just do some streaks on there. We're going to add little tiny spiky bits. It's dry, so not too much. And we've got one a bit more at the front. And adding in yellow. I'm glad the chickens aren't actually in here because I can hear them. And then our cactus here at the front is another shape again. So we're doing sort of like a more of an oval shape or teardrop shape. And it's got side. Remember, if yours are coming out a bit odd shape, don't worry, because there's some weird looking cactuses. Just adds character to them. So, sorry, Joe and Margaret, I forgot you're doing on rectangle. So yours is going to be probably a little bit squashed in. So if you can't fit both cactuses, just fit them as best you can where, and yours might not just have as much space. Now with this one, I am going to rinse my brush and I want it a little bit different. I don't want it as yellowy as the other one. So I'm using white. I've used way too much. Put a tiny little bit of white on there. Not that much. You can come back over. Picked up a bit of the yellowy colour. So you just want that on one side. To make it look a little bit different. This will have spiky bits on it as well. I'm sort of going to give it like a bit of yellowy tinge. Can come back in and a little bit more blue. Need to. And then we're just going to add in some little grasses. So using that same little brush again, I just don't want too much there. Now you can either load it with the green, or you might like to make it a more limey green. So just add more yellow. So it's that nice limey green. You can put your grasses wherever you'll know your space to fit in, like what space you've got. And you can do your grass either way. You can do it up and flip them, or you may want to come down and you want to add a little bit of white in there. do some random little bushes. Don't think too much about it. And I'm going to do some little purple ones too. I'll pick up a little bit of purple with some white. Round. This is going to be a little purple spiky cactus. Might just do another one next to it. And you can also do some little purple grasses too, white. I'm just stippling as I do this bit here, make like a grassy looking purple thing. And just before we start going into spikes, I want to grab a little flat brush again, nice and clean. And I'm just going to grab some new light. Purple. Before we come down into cactus, we can add, well, I've got that little bit of white on, so we don't want too much. We can just come and do a couple of little dry brush white highlights in random spots to look like the reflection coming from the moon. And we've got the cloud up the top as well. So just along the bottom of the cloud, we're going to do some of that phthalo blue as the shadow. So look where your moon is, and it's going to come just a little bit into the moon, just going to draw a line. A bit greeny colour because it's mixed there. Just going to do a little bit up, create a bit of shadow. So just doing some little curved shapes for the moon. Come in full purple. Wipe your brush off, grab a little bit of white. We do want it to blend. That's too much white. So just blend that. Now, if You've got docking tools handy, you can use them, or if not, use the end of your smallest brush. Going to do the little pink dots on our cactuses, which are the little flower buds. It's going to come in, so make sure your magenta is still quite nice. You don't want blobby paint. And we're just going to come in and do random dots on there. Some very little sparks are going to come out of. How are we all going? Sorry, I haven't been checking in on you to see how you're going, how you're keeping it up. Joe and Margaret, did you get your spacing okay on your rectangles? Then on the cactus at the front is yellow dots. I'm not going to pour out any more paint. I'm just going to get some yellow out of the top of my bottle. Saves me pouring it out. Don't need much at all. I'm sure it will look good. All right, now with your little spikes, see how you go now, or if you've got any white pouring paint or something to make white paint a bit runny, I've got something that I will use in my dotting. Or you can wait till your little dots dry and use a paint pen, like a fine little paint pen to do the little spikes. So I will go ahead and do the spikes with this, or if you find this brush is too thick, and try not to get your dots on anywhere else. We just want tiny, tiny little spikes, but if you've got thick blobby paint, it's really challenging to get the nice little spikes. So you either need, a really fine brush. If you haven't got pouring paint, you can just get some clean water and water it down a little bit. My spikes are all different sizes. Some have got 3, some have got 2. Don't worry if you pick up a little bit of that pink off the little cactus dots. Just remember, we've got to do our flowers on a cactus too. This one I'm just doing mostly 2 little spikes for this one, just to make it a little bit different. I meant to do some little points coming out the sides too. And go back and add some more dots if you need to. A little bit on this. So that one you can do little yellow spots. Now this cactus one has like little star flowers. So it's got 4 coming out of each dot. Don't know if it's showing up. If you can see the little pink on Facebook. Barely touching this to make it nice and thin. So like I said, if you've got a little fine paint pen, that would be easier, or a little brush. So I have been talking about my membership. Just waiting. We are still waiting. Got glitches happening on the back end of it. It's going to be a little bit different to last time. It's actually got its own website and portal. So when you join, you'll get your own login as well. We will still have its own Facebook group. And but there's a couple of options. Like if you don't want to join the membership, but you do want some of the tutorials, you can just purchase the tutorials by themselves to follow along. And I'm offering 2 different types of memberships. So there's a membership if you just want to paint and use it for personal use, then that one's going to be $19 a month. And then if you want to make a business out of it, or you actually want to sell your designs or your paintings, or do paint parties or whatever, there's an artpreneur license as well. So that's going to be $35 a month. So that gives you rights to use all my designs. Now I'm going into this one much more organized than last time. I've got 20-ish designs, which you can see. I don't know, you probably can't see in the little picture on Facebook. They're all on my back wall. And then all the free paintings that I'm doing in this group are going to stay up for 1 week, and then they're going to get moved over as bonuses in the membership as well. So essentially in the membership, you'll be getting 2 paintings a month plus any free ones that I do. And there's already 12 designs in there, which some of you who were in the membership have probably seen before, but the new ones are going to get released every 2 weeks. So there'll be one every 2 weeks. So it's pretty exciting. It's going to make it a lot easier to navigate, and especially with all the changes from Facebook, that live videos in. So if you are interested in that, if you haven't already received an email, you can let me know. And hopefully it's going to be the end of this week that that's going to get released. So that's very exciting. All right, so we've got all our little spikies. We've just got our flowers and our stars to do. So flowers on the cactus. We're just loading your little brush with magenta. That's getting a little bit thick. And a little bit of white. And we're just going to do some little petals. So just pulling your brush in to the middle. So we'll do 1 layer of petals, and then I'm only going to put white on the brush this time and do another layer over the top. And then we'll come back and add a center in a minute. Down on one of our other ones, you can just do a half open flower. So we'll just come back to that shortly. So then with your stars, again, if you've got the pointy, if you've got a dotting tool and that nice runny paint, you can come in and just dot some stars. And there's a couple of ways that you can do some extra shiny stars. You can either get your finger and do a little bit of finger painting and smudge them. And then come back in and do another dot in the middle. They look like they're glowing. Or you can do some stars. Look out. Another dot. Just using the end of my one down. We've got a big storm happening. I'm going to finish just in time. It's all right. And then in the middle of your flower is yellow. Do some yellow in the middle there. When that dries, you can come over and just do a couple of little white dots if you want. And then it's just finishing off your border. So I'll just do a little section here. I'll finish mine off after, but just to show you, I think most of you have done this before anyway, and some of you may not even need it. So just going straight across, and then you'll just be flicking out into your canvas. Then you do that right around, and then you'll get that nice border and don't have to worry about getting it nice and straight. You getting storm out your way, Joe? Right. Well, hopefully you're not too far behind me. Anyway, this will virtually go straight into, because I streamed live into the Facebook group, it's going to be available straight after this anyway. So you'll be able to forward it to the end and catch up if you need to. Oh, Kathy, hello. Have you been watching along? Oh yes, Joe, you're getting it too. All right, well, I hope you've all enjoyed that. Actually, it was quicker than I thought it was going to be. So that's good. And just in time for the storm to hit. Now, if you have finished it today, I'd love to see it. So put it in the Facebook group, share it to your profile. And remember, you can invite people along to the group as well, because everything I do in the group is free. And we've got some other ones coming up over the next couple of weeks. I think I've got one next Sunday, I can't remember. Then I haven't because I've got 50th. But yeah, they'll be fairly regular after that. So yeah, so share away. All right, have a great rest of the afternoon, and I will see you all on next time. And thanks for coming on and painting along or just watching. Now I have to work out how I get out. I will just stop sharing my screen. All right, so there you go. There you've got a better view of all the paintings, most of them anyway. Gives you some idea. Yeah. You are welcome, Joe. No worries, Joyce. And I need to find my way back to Facebook to stop it. And I don't know where it is. Here we go, found it. Thanks, Karen. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Mum. I look forward to seeing all your paintings. And make sure you share them. Found where I've got to get out.